Bombande. So from now to Kerry Katina Bekwe, the Maxx Morning Show produced by Sedu Mutawake. Zinaberg and Poyole Tinasons Katuane Edward at the or investigative pays cash for justice. Tonight you let the palm results because Attorney General's officer dismissed Dene Ane Mr. Emmanuel Otu on a koda implicated by cash for justice documentary lanila. Tonight see the yellow and corruption yellow bega by 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. Timina source ne training nurses about allowance ayela la tada singing the songs of kanana the Ministry of Health memory bagbangi yina yetie goma tinam ye lead bubet tisane ka well go dey one bank tina source ne by Secretary for Education and Registration Halidu Solomon Berger 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. Tiam sansa tina source katwa for yaking den and Solomon and Sukura ni sons of international for making Sakwa Chips compound na variety news items and international by 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. Back in Kaleba, now introduce Saudi ni Joshua Katakin 2 ni super headline review segment by Maxx Morning Show by 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. This is what I Maxx Empire for my friend, don't forget me, King Ayisoba. Alright, so not a lot now go say to Labego and our piano more sincere burger batete Saudi ne Joshua be Zomun kwa burger kekam King Basan Katipil ne Sonsoga for the Lucia WhatsApp for joining Tibet test line 0550 336 448 for us send WhatsApp message this message na pam your number ni be Facebook live Ghana Maxx Empire Ghana ya tun may send your messages about comment section na ni ani Maxx Morning Show ni Mam Alexander Bombande. Saudi, a very good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, Alaji. How are you too?
I'm great. God bless you for identifying and recognizing my position as Alhaj. I'm not Alhaji one, but I'm Alhaj.
The original one.
Yeah, Alhaj, original Alhaj. The only guy with Mecca. Let me not say it. Sorry.
Yes.
Kawana.
Laughing.
Zag them ganse.
Don't far be laughing. I'm on ganse.
To. Yeah, konu da bala. When I'm saying, do not that was one.
You know you have 17 days.
Okay, 17 days. Hello. How many days more? 13 days. Joshua, why are you laughing? That means 13 days more for us to eat well.
Yes. Less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. Oh wow. And today is 28th. Your birthday is on the 30th. I hope yesterday you didn't dream Isa buying you goat head.
It was my boss.
Who work here?
Yes.
And he bought you what?
He bought me ice cream.
I thought he bought you pen drive. That is just for Maxx Empire FM. Josh. Josh.
Yeah.
Double okay. You are lost.
Yes. Cool.
Seriously. Barnes, business car Barnes.
Oh, baby. Mambo in good.
Too very good. Mam goes for very good in languages. Language is like a former. Local languages.
If I used to say language will let me answer. Yeah, I'm a common look at on the map. On the banana faza.
2x4. The non 2x4. Oh, I see. Duola.
La Ve.
Okay. It's a one sunko.
Aye, fine.
Bobo Bega.
Bega yako ana tun last but night to go lava banadeka. Tina more than that is the case.
Oh, okay. I see.
Ne bega mana ore puning 5
See, I don't make anything fine. Why for anointing of float sima. So okay, to say the game daily graphic goes here bonama bend in a bega bay.
Okay. The daily graphic. Additional $32 billion required to complete Saglima housing project. Saglimi. Saglimi housing project. For more details of it, you get it on page 16. Graphic and Zoom Lion launch national sanitation campaign today, and it's also on page 16. We can't take child beggars. Social welfare explains. That's on the daily graphic.
Okay, so Joshua, a local Kosa translation.
Okay. Zina Bekega daily graphic yet Sierra and source to something then house and yellow bay then Yanamka by Mary Accra Solum ka Zikana Yotobona Saglimi housing project Kabame Bameyaram Makabayanga you sorry to Zile by Yusubaka Bayina Mpekayele Gosnage Banambo Ligidi Dene Tenayel de Nasalini 32 million Ghana cedis $32 million Kabana Hanoke Nai Zikanga Kananga Sorka Sudayanga Kenge Pam do Betina Mbet one then Lare de Asium Ka Denemempis Ane Tomorrow graphic ne Zoom Lion dem last Zine ba last Zoom then one net Belum Tenya Belum program yeba pinzina uzun kana awane da ne bon kana kabana la asadi sike katu gosre te nyaa belum program tuna ni sensem kate zis ko te zis nam zik bana kata bela kana anya intensity kayanga intensity we mana program ka de ne olympics ana social welfare dem men yina myenete de bakoyanga ingis bibana mbe soyazote insosot mbe soyazote na bakoyanga ingisiba kada pale biba mala donc ane ba se ba pombe so ayana zuto ne msosot wana den na de asiem den the graphic here that is
didn't know that asiem for sure the ala well situation can kabela the one baba yinina but for your God's housing project net minister for works and housing ko opicha benina Francis Asonso Boache on benina ka bayeti 32 million US dollars ka ban need for this project ka be complete today. Mongos ka this excuse is not enough. Yaba young bas bonus in how many years man? And you should not be waiting for this entire amount can complete but ka be young divided into phases. Even though they are an affordable housing, will be happening Ghana is happening by your so yeah use little amount of this mal face ayene can you depend kayot ka that revenue la nyang so noko mal another face gradually silo na na kaya ba silo wasa ka da zikete kurs ne bonama bombe nam ka ba benina kayun yatete you need 32 million US dollars ka mampun den pumon Ghana pe ka tete piante ligira ka kote de US dollars ampum bogma de bene meanwhile na me law yet da charged bonam ni US foreign amount ka government amount sirosa ba kote de US dollars yema using pay you break down 32 million US dollars to Ghana citizen producer for now break down whatever 32 million US dollars kataba Ghana citizens there as Saudi take him to daily guide ko.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay.
Agrada turns to Christ amid fraud charges.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yeah, I said the police station that was the revival center. Then to your church na maka police station that was the revival center.
Yes.
to wusin ka ninkan musu ka bagbago mo kan police station kule pa kaya ngan take mana agrada na taxi ma
agrada bona say to pense ge number whether this say na take rabe because it only another way of getting the people by dodging justice me banambelu ni
yes
so banambo like sin on a case court me so neto are like lawyers advise in a way wa mala wanala on a pardon even by pencil jail 3 days they don't like otiakia
kaba ingo one day
maning one day so to say the Queen spirit na me bank
we have a pastor in our midst. I think he will do that too.
Oh, okay, I see. Reverend Apostle D.W. Joshua.
Okay. Kufuor slams Sam Jones claims. JB's driver testified in murder trials, and killer coops civilians cage. That is on the Daily Guide.
Okay. Joshua. Daily Guide, Joshua.
Daily Guide, I'm going to say that baraba kan police station ka baptiste sorry olebi na ka bayona maro kan court ka upengi na nyenya ye source dabsera onoko mengete se Kristo ka olenka on teman be man fabo liga kana ko malti tse faka papa ligri ka oyo ane Kristo nit ka dena Olympics ane te
Joshua before of keto feel for go yo are Kristo nit Kristo la ana kosa albe ana kamuna rek be na sale
Kristo
Yes Kristo we right here
yes ka the face ma ana yete former president oneka te bone Kufuor mengina nyele te mo dawso ko ana man business ka nyina mpia ko lewe de wane no dia sere be bana journalist na wala yeba boyange government kan ani la be goma kan ani wala dan wane da biye mbe wani ka ba ya nya sida baba ya ngare invita mpierele wane den na da ACM ka de ke ka baba ya ngare to ma ba to mala so ga ka kufu kun yina nyele da kan na PCM ma de bo wane on piele CM ka la baya no de SRF de ma baya ngare to ma ba to ma wanda ACM ka tialen to stone na de titi driver se ka ya yang mpam accident be then support
ka so original JB's drivers testify in murder trial.
Yes.
Then na ka
yes
okay theaters onane JB dankwa edu da MP kabada ko be oyin that is abuakwa MP la ka ba na investigate up to zina banambo bank killers kabada gba guy so Kaiti Moroccan court in and out. Banambenia Nana or driver ala can court and testify about medala. So a driver can court and a JB Dankwe do or personal driver can court and memoir on me seal about the incident.
Then the
announce here. Okay.
So daily guide it is here
Okay. The Ghanaian Times. 3 completed projects left to rot in Gomwa East District. NADMO and TWMA demolish structure on waterways at Lashibi. 17 African First Ladies and others hold video conference. And 3 policemen and others in Saikwa killing remanded. That's all we have on the Ghanaian Times.
Ghanaian Times sama ita ta sai zina be ke gala ana yata kan apa zikan tankan katabo na kai Gomwa East District dena be Central Region ko soloma ye ba mene dot wane atanga na gale na ko nziel ka debo baba yusire ka palo na do baba ko mela neziet ka baba mari yusire be so be do baba po wana ka palna alixa ngala usa ka bamman ko mari yela penyina mpiere de gala wana so ka talent tol set mo lox ya ka to bona bay natmu ka ban ana ban yisin go so wane te sengo pa ta se sim to yisi sam so lad be ko to kana ndia ya lat ka ba anin ban yisin yang kana ngos ka son nimba malim banaka bayisi be yelba ma po wonna ka de pa ani te aken tema West Municipal Assembly bana kwanyina ne mkwenga to ne mken tenka na katobona kai last week dembene asama solo be akra ka kwanyina mwat dol bare ka ba mele nziele wane to water water ways nila bana kongo ba yanam kare bene ko so yana men ka ko nga gata be last week ka ban kwanyina mkwem mwat do ba ma baset ka tialen tolestone de yetete te non savle solo nkwele nila goma pop be bana goma pop ban wane pina ayepo ne saba nlasa pe ma de ne katabonde na sala ne video call de na sa so ka yana ko ya fana ngazi fi yin kama memzi yin katapen ko onta ba ka gosita ba ka bayanga mpe ma lon kana sos saba wala ka mpe ma de na yina ni kana ko te goma ona po katabone Rebecca penna ko ningeli to na so maga ka ba men ko ne yina ni yetete te mo police na ma atanga ne nin saba na ko ba men MPs dena no ko son program ka ba penya ngi seba police station kayo aye ba ke ka ba yang ten court ka ba tore to no wala so maga Ghanaian Times no mo se zina be ke ga wala.
The Daily Dispatch. Richard Nyama on Sam Jones' speech. He indicated all governments and himself. Atta Kennedy on Sam Jones' speech, and it's on page 11. John Ajekum Kufuor to Sam Jonah prove that we are in a culture of silence. Government will complete Saglimi projects regardless of criminal investigations. Minister, and it's you can see it on page 2 and 12 of the Daily Dispatch.
Still the daily dispatch me to see la tomorrow so katobona Richard Nyama Omen Penina Mako Honorable say Sam George Umina Piansi Ayele Bagos La Baya
Sam Jonah from Sam George
oh Sam Jonah okay good Sam Jonah Mpina Mako Honor Piako Nyele te Yagos te Ghana no laba no dia se bayanga Mtumba Tuma wana dena da ASEAN kan ane da bezotum be bayanga te se basol ka bayanga man te se laba ya wana den na da ASEAN maka ongaso mpenye le fa gosi Richard Nyama la kwenye le Sam Jonah Mengba Omenpis bonkangani mpogon ke ka de kwa awela ka wela no ka temo ata Kennedy omenpenye na mnako onoro pes peka ngapogon man pareng yelene kufo ona atu go makoroka bete president koroka omendeng kwene yina mpelen pe ke Sam George oyima mpalde mezuk ka oyeli no dia serpa be labaya no dia serpa be yang to batoma wana de na de ASEAN ka talent to stone on minister anticipate works and housing umpo yina nyele den to ka ASEAN Musa Sagomi Progeta bana pomuko bamen kayanga nagale wane de nare de ASEAN kaso on Musa na yanga mkenga mpani na kapa nziki ndege neka okwen pame ndege nsomoga.
Okay, we move to the informer. Unprecedented. How Mills Dufour Economy Management Team led solid foundation for Ghana's economic take-off. And it's on page 3 of the informer. Ghana pays you for no work done. And it's from the Speaker of Parliament. And it's on page 4 of the informer. Fight against Galamsey menace. Non-partisan approach needed. Minister. Containing public third waves of COVID-19, let's tighten KIA by putting quick measures in place. And in this issue, the rumpus over the return of culture of silence, it's a hoax. Kufuor put some juniors to strict proof. That's on the informer.
The informer may titis yet zina mbeke gala pem ane wane ve waye ane unprecedented. So na yele na ko salebu unprecedented. De ko ana wane de para quality better and fine wane den na de ASEAN ye temo down so katoboni Mills Dufour ka ana one ngoset wane te ana one bangarebe ni ligidinam to mani wana so mga kabang yanga ngina yanga nziele mpem gos yelbana nare ba mal kan yanga so ka keka te ligidinam sulu ngana kwenne yanga tan so mga intensity ka te alen gose on ate parliament on ziete on a parliament to on gat ka te baragango ka omen ko yina mpem fe fa gos nage Ghana youth o parent is resuka yura te bayanga de nyata de wana so mga ifa go se Ghana kumpan yor ninkanga so pebe nimba mare me nzalam ka babaton sesiele de pogane ka talent to stone minister kana go sete tengbang lam yila ka umman ko yina ko yele fa go na galam se to mala ka ba mode ba karare ingis Ghana ko ne solo menna de bode so usa ko yanga na ko umenga mpesere ni ka bayanga karare wana ingis ka dama ko partner yila na ko re pesere de pogane ozugo da anate tengbang sum yela kai tetang sum yela nare bakat dalam se ngisiti tengen na ka nenga mempere te nenga mempere COVID-19 na yela kai ta agosna gai te zikana katobona kaye kutuka international airport ire kwa nare bago zikana keke kababkan akan ni kan rusa zikana na beyo odolsi zikana ni ne kaskas ana fon kana na ni na sa tank ngode fo kwa Ghana kwa nakadul babkan ni na de bayanga mveza fo wana so mega ngose fo morwe mabe fo morwe ka fana yanga Ghana kwele na nenga deneka the informer mengitete zina bekega.
Okay, then we move to the new crusading guides. Despite challenges, government commits to complete Sagleme housing project. Lies and selfish interest behind campaign for ECG MD's removal. Group says as it exposed in Union. Imperial College of London confers honorary doctrine on Sami Jonah. Contractors chase Nsawam MCE and his boss. Socialist Forum commemorates 49th anniversary of Nkrumah martyrdom. That is all on the new crusading guide.
The new crusading guide at me it is yella bamman compare in libre sagalami housing project in yella yede don asia musa bana mukanga kumpen na galeka so we yanga mpamale usually one den la de siame de program ka theater store net memo ndaw kanga ka umma bangina mpempe te fa gosnage ziri ne dena nifnelen be mambot de mambo de asiyam tesema zina ke ka fa gose ECJ dene ka tanayele bana gosrete na sabugun yela ka ba pem batuntuno bina yele ba bode ba ke ka on aba to ngat be ba kwema ba kwen yisu o toma nila ye fa gose da ane nimpili mbe de prowanka ba kwen ba yisim daw kanga wala ka dene melempes ane ta kanga pa Nsawam ba ye contractor ne onuri ponyanga nkate ona aba DC mbe nina ko ya baya bene ntomanika DC ilane o nidi mkenge bakaga ba gosepa ka contractor la ne o tontono menkwe ye ya aseda ba ko yanga ntese ba sorka bazia nina ka DC ne o tontono pa be onyandolo pa kwening nobda nya hale zikana hale ka som ka the new crusading guide menkwe more nina nkena ntesete zina mbekengala.
Okay, the Daily Statesman. First Lady calls for reboots health system to deal with future pandemics. We are dealing with Saglimi works and housing ministers assures. And it's on page 3 of the Daily Statesman. Kufuor challenges Sam Jonah over culture of silence claim. And it's also on page 2 of the Daily Statesman for more details.
The Daily Statesman men yetete sezina mbekega la anamanete First Lady one Rebecca mkwanyina nyede de narete yange ngosonete yela katia brete men kana ngono lave somoga de men nguti ngisi big dar wane ko tundazi COVID-19 na ntire ka da pen ndigi te siama de narete yange nti brete men kana no lave somoga ka weba buri yatelim linkete Solomon na katuna yange ngutu men somoga kala de yange ndamate somoga ka de men lempese ba pempere Saglami housing project yela kafago sa Kufuor bonpelem nan pempere Sam Jonah mpiaka kubanyina mpiesiema kubanye se uyina mpal wane uyina mpal de zuka oyanga injelwela ka sobia gbange digmin somoga.
Okay, we take our last newspaper headline. And it's the Herald. Akufo-Addo gets love song from UK same-sex activist. Senior secondary school education runs into mess. MPP National Women Organizer punches road minister for only constructing roads in his hometown. And Kufuor calls for critical thinking into Sam Jonah's comments. That is on the Herald too.
The Herald le na yetete sezina mbeke gala ane ye fagos na ta kan tenka na katobona ka ye UK be na sa tan suluma ye ninganga be nimba dem ane bane kumpenzie kaye denare daw ne daw deta baka po ne po men deta bala ye ba panyanga injina ne la sawana so maga kake kayanga mtis pemyanga wom sunga wana fine tese te Ghana Sudan ona Akufo-Addo te bobang dene be de program ka bayina myanga wom kanga mteso la ka dene melempis ane Kufuor kunyina nkonye le denare ba panyanga injina la skayanga mtesa wana so maga nkate nlewete Sam Jonah nyina mpion Sam Jonah piet la pogon ka dene melempis ane Ghana pele Solomon MPP on aba propem nyina ba propem nyanga la sedaba nyina mpanye le fa go sinage minister kana kabagamo ye ongoserete soyana yela mbe Ghana pele nila fago se yenin kanga sopa obayangare ntono songa Ghana de musa opemore to malusa mlebre otengen maka oboket ka were gere pa so usa ka pu kanga men panyina mpem mpiere somaga awana ndegel so nenga membe de herald ni zina mbekega.
I say these super headlines zina stories azuya especially fago Sam Jonah Kufu Sabjuna, culture of silence. They're burning everywhere on the newspaper headlines. You can pick some few online portals. Ka leba can read comments here about Katian King Tune by 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. City Newsroom, 25 million allocated to all national teams, not just Black Star Sports Minister. So Sports Minister Yina Yele Lila ka President. Yeah, this football team at Sapien Susa. Yeah, they are named for all national teams. Black Stars, so Black Satellites, so Black Meteors, Black Queens, Bawosa, Kalikana Babatibaka, Black Stars national senior national team, senior men's national team Mamane. Ka Fiakin Tune. City Newsroom ascends Subwaji Commission's agency to validate audit reports on Sagome housing project. So then I may just about housing project Beninala. Okay, so then let me see. Bear with us while we work to improve power supply. Napo urges Ghanaians. So Energy Minister Matthew Opoku Prempe onjina mi temal msuguruto ka bagose ma lighter ka te dagot lights of na mama nana nala temal msuguru kaba bore ba ma lighter then mebe nina. Okay. GhanaWeb.com. Adum Ocho offers vague explanation to soldiers appearing in parliament to criticize Sam Jonah. Oh, okay. I see. So diname benina the name network ane po temam kwe. So these super portals are very few ones benina come before come left south any Joshua San categorized some key discussions from those particular headlines. This person says, Alexander, good morning to you and your panelist. You are doing a good job over there. You are building a Kusara kingdom, building the Kusara kingdom and beyond. Son, faith, the Lord will guide you. From Albert Aguri, do nothing now. Albert, good morning and good morning to all of you doing the listening at Do Nothing at a post in Musabanika Gadebene Do Nothing. This person says, good morning, Maxx Empire TV. I am Anang Isa watching you live from Avondago. Anang Isa, thank you very much for your message as well. You can also join us via the WhatsApp and text messaging line 0550-336-448 0550-336-448. For those of you watching via Facebook or Maxx Empire Ghana, do let us know where you're watching us from and contribute to the show in the comment section of the live stream of the morning show, the Maxx morning show. Saudi Kakalab Fasana, newspaper headlines are then tickle for pane. Manyika Fari did a Nisokaladam.
You know, they were singing a love song to our president, but like that was just by the. But then on more serious note, they concerning the housing projects, they are demanding money. If you look, there is one newspaper headline. You could see that it has now grown.
Okay.
You see that grasses are all over. It's like it's something that is not. Is they don't want it. So like I just think they have to just work on it, because when I'm coming to stay in that house, I'll pay. So are they demanding that money from the citizens, or from which people are they demanding that money from to complete it?
Yeah, I think with they themselves is a government that has to solicit where to get funds to support that project. But my problem is, why wait to get that huge amount before you do something about it, when you can actually work on the building project on like based on sections, or you segment it, finish with this part, give it out to people. One, you are solving the housing deficit. Two, you are generating revenue at that moment to help complete the entire thing.
Yes.
So I see. Works and Housing Minister Bantama Kenkonga Asensu Buaji. Very soon Abangana join Fanina.
Yeah.
Ka Yagose Diela Ka Housing Project. And if you look at some of the newspaper portals, you identify that we've seen abandoned projects at different places.
Yes.
Apart from the housing project at Sagami. But you see, this whole thing of abandoned project is everywhere. Yesterday we hinted about the Binduri DC's bungalow.
Yeah.
It's there. What's happening? So all these issues we have to be up and doing as a people. To bring our poor country Italy invest into steel capacity.
Because if you check the daily stage lights, you see the picture there.
You see.
State bungalow abandoned and overgrown. The story of a poor but very negligent nation.
I see. Okay, so Musa, you are live in us. You are live with us on Maxx Empire Ghana. Musa Ibrahim watching us live from Accra. Thank you very much for all of you doing the listening, and those of you watching via Facebook Live. Do let us know where you're reaching us from, and also if you can contribute to the show. This is the new super highline segment of the Maxx Morning Show. To post ya wasabaraka got it yana man be Facebook was kele katabanya kokote piare iti bazwa dene bene bindur solom bet upper east bangani Joshua new super highline tani for putting a rabo on any topic can attract for attention beyond the cut discuss that
Fayagos Tama West Municipal Assembly Bam yang kan Timoles be Mwa do seba be lasidi Dene be asama soluma Me agose dene mane Dene me mo down yela Ka Fayagos de ane niripa nyovo yela because yaba mamaka ba wabala baye ba mekane ba me ba nezi ele ko so yeni me atugo sansa be go be senga isi pa ka sa ni re menga fana ka zigbana ka te ka sere morele zikano anda ko mi se inde te ba se ba ka sa maro ba ladna so de bonarele te yangare mi e te ama bamba wana de na moda ngote se te ka te leni seasons kana ko te menge mpese de pro ne so Fayagos na yaba maka ba wa ba se ma di bana mela da na sam ka ba ngwe ba mato de mena ana ba nyovole la ka ba memma bon kana msungo bala ka ya house na mama boy nempe de na pe jasa because the people na te pe de yele ka de bonare te pe de yele ka ba yele ba mi de na
I see.
We don't know why that one I don't know, like it's too much.
It's too much. See, but they are three much at night and three much.
Yes.
But Fayagos still within our stories. The news team that King Dena and Sack Solo King ne Sukura, but spending the nego aniego ne Sukurani. Ka Fayagos building and a problem everywhere. Development issue la and then a narrate was gossip the yellow. Fayagos the benina. It's quite an eyesore. They are so devastated. Offering students by classroom blocks banani. And the story is not different. Story like are different for other parts of the district and other parts of the Kosak area. Fayalep, then on Buku Westala, Fayalep, then on the Timpani district, Fayalep Garu district, Pusika district, Boku municipality. They became Bindur Kwena, Tinetaba almost everywhere. Mamzi why is it that way? Ani tibunyene tinyene kasimbe to couldn't decide ye kekarabe. Katimo leaders in these particular communities tiye Ghana to practice it then a decentralized system. So up to the grassroots, up to the minimum, to unit committee members, cabinet, assembly members, cabinet, DC is cabinet, regional ministers, cabinet, regional directors, education directors, all of them, Bahawudi, Faki GS, Mabamo, circuit supervisors, Kakena Ninama supervision. You because the teachers are Tomabe. Banking about Kabisa Z in those death traps. Banyit. So what's our problem? The problem aboka Daru Fanakin Sukuso Kanyaka building Dela when 50 cent your keep each other. What's that? Bonamala. So that
yes. I don't know, or I don't understand why our leaders are doing that. Because Funaking, that is our future leaders. They are doing that too. Funaking Pasukurso, even where they are, like, if they stop schooling is good. And I can see that schooler, but Kenania supervise it. And when you've been saying that, how do you feel in you? Our DCs, what are they doing about it? The leaders, Yanyet Bisa, and I know very well they are aware of it, because they, as the situation the school is like, but assemblyman sent reported this by leaders la. But like, what did you do about it? Because Mambi Kanya, you should know, but one day they can also become who you are today. So if you don't give them a nice environment to stay, how would you even learn? Because
this is sorry for raise issue about assemblyman Fiago story and assemblyman able. Yeah, on tried your palm budget allocated but come more excuses say coveted Kenalaya projects bonam a whole lot of stories. COVID da kira ka nan buzin yela ya ba some classrooms aka da tili did bigger. Be sai kafa da bisa zini mani na kasabo ba. How long before COVID kin bondara?
So as COVID sakara la ka na ko da na ko
bega ka da kena bega ka COVID kena. So te nagos issue kana. So Joshua, just final words on that particular issue. Katakinge to interview land Edward Edeti ni gos source kana bega 96.9 Maxx Empire FM keka king interview land ni miataleba for pumba kwe tena so bega mpapu yele ya kelek news then Anita Upper East Nikwe Tidamo then an documentary by investigative journalist Kame to say EIB network Edward the Katuane cash for justice tomorrow Kobete Bangmiga ni Katana Kenya no Kaleba. So as I indicated earlier on the show, we have my senior colleague Edward that he is a journalist with the EIB group, and he is on the phone lines with us. Good morning, Eddie, and welcome to the Maxx Morning Show.
Good morning to you, Alex.
Thank you very much for making time with us.
I'm so grateful, and thank you for having me.
Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate you for a good work done and for getting some results out of your documentary for justice.
Yeah, thanks. I'm grateful.
Okay. First of all, can you please remind our listeners about the entire documentary excerpts of it? What was it about, and what necessitated your decision to investigate the state attorney in the Bogatanga municipality, Mr. Emmanuel Lawrence Otu?
Yes, thank you, Alex. And once again, good morning to all your viewers and listeners.
Okay.
The reason for going to that undercover investigation was to restore what appeared to be public confidence in the judicial service or the justice system in the region.
Okay.
Having gone missing I mean, in other words, a lot of people had lost confidence in the judicial system or the justice system in the region, and that even resulted in people taking the law into their own hands. As in, anytime they found any crime suspect, anybody they suspected to have committed a crime, they took the law into their own hands by, killing the person in the streets or at any corner.
I see.
And so it became rampant in the region, and that was, I think, around 2017, 2018, thereabout. So then I began to ask questions as to why this was happening. So, and anytime I asked questions, the answer I would get would be, well, we have lost confidence. You take a crime suspect to the courtroom, and the person is even goes to do lessons. So that's what was happening. And I have got pictures. If you have watched that documentary, you see a number of the pictures there.
Yeah.
So, and there are lots more I couldn't even bring into the documentary film. So, well, and I'll go beyond at that time, beyond just asking why there were rampant mob, justice instances. And the question by asking, so who exactly was making you lose confidence in the judicial system or the justice system? And fingers were always pointing at the law office, that's the Attorney General Department office in the region.
Okay.
And generally people mentioned one Emmanuel Lawrence Otuboyson. He was the senior state attorney at the time. Of course, there was a chief state attorney, but he wasn't so available. So it was Boyson who was doing everything. Of course, so. And the allegations people leveled or directed at him was that he was taking money from crime suspects or from accused persons to free them. And basically, as a state attorney, he was a lawyer for the government, a lawyer for the state.
Okay.
And his interest should be the interest of the state. And if he was taking money to free what's the name, crime suspect, then his interest was now against the interest of the state.
Sure.
And that was a serious issue. Aside that, everybody was at risk. It means as long as people have not confidence in the judicial system and they were resorting to mob justice, anybody was at risk. You could be at risk, you are less, anybody.
Yeah.
So I decided that no matter what, I must get to the bottom of everything. So even before then, I had also spoken to, I had interactions with some police officers in the region who also complained about him. And even these police officers said they had become so demoralized that even they wouldn't feel interested in arresting any crime suspect anymore, because you arrest them, take them to court, and then this state attorney will advise on the docket in a manner that this same crime suspect or accused persons will be freed.
Wow.
So the region was on the verge of something else. Well, to cut it short, I decided to then investigate him. And at the time I started the investigation, he was handling, one of the cases he was handling was a rape case.
Okay.
He was handling a lot of cases then for the state, and one of them was a rape case involving one Mohammed Awal. And the rape case, a bit of the story is that this woman was, in bed with her partner, and then that was in Bolga. Then at a point, the partner took a break as they were having their love-making affair as they were making love in bed, so to say. Then he took a break, he went out of the room. Then Muhammad Awa came in and continued from where that man left off, also going to the bed with the woman. Yes. I mean, the woman was not even aware. The one who had come in was not the partner of the husband. Yes, so Muhammad Awa came in, and clearly this was rape.
Yeah.
Yes, as the woman, I mean, when she realized that this was not the husband or the spouse, withdrew from what was going on, and then on seeing the face of the person, clearly that this was not the husband, screamed, and all the neighbors around, came into the room. And they apprehended Muhammad Awal and sent him to the police station. So from there, the matter went to court. That is how the case ended up in the hands of the state attorney to prosecute Muhammad Awal. So that was what I gathered. So the case was going on at the Bogatanga High Court 1, presided over by Justice Jacob Bone at the time. Then, of course, the state attorney knew me as a journalist. So if I went to him, he would know. Of course, he would suspect something. So I didn't go to him directly.
Okay.
I asked someone, an agent, to do that work, on my behalf, just to go to him, pretend he was a relative to the accused person or a member of the accused person's family, and should just go and sit with him and find out how he could be of help for the accused person. And I told the agent, when you go there, don't force him to take money. Don't talk about money. Just go, ask him. He just wanting to help you. Because I just wanted to find out whether actually he had been demanding for money, he had been taking money to free accused persons.
I see.
And if you watch that documentary, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
When the agent went to his house, he said, the agent just told him about the case, and he said, okay, are you ready right now? And the agent said, yes, I'm ready. He said, then the agent said he will go and return to him. When the agent returned, he came back with 1,000 Ghana cedis. When we stretched the money to him, he didn't say, oh, no, I don't want. He took the money, even asked us, how much is this? The agent said it's 1,000 Ghana cedis. And I told the agent that he should let him count the money. Because in the end, he might want to deny he took money. He might say, well, it was an envelope they brought to me, it wasn't money.
Money, yeah.
So that's why there was emphasis on the counting of the money, that he should count the money for those who eventually watch it, to know that yes, it was money he took and it was money he was counting. So he counted, as you must have watched in the documentary film. So then, subsequently, the agent of course met with him on a number of occasions. On another occasion, he told the agent that he wanted a pregnant goat. As to the reason he wanted a pregnant goat, I don't know, but he said he wanted a pregnant goat, which was delivered to him as well.
Okay.
All these parts of the conditions he was given, to release the accused person from the rape, the prosecution was going through in court. So then on another occasion, he checked the agent that he needed 1,350 pounds sterling to go to England. He said the government had given him a program to pursue in the UK, and that according to him, government didn't give him money to secure an air ticket, so he needed 1,350 pounds sterling, which according to him is an equivalent of 21,000 Ghana cedis. And he was urging the agent to tell the family of the accused person he was prosecuting to produce that money for him. And the agent said, well, it might not be possible to, but you could sell a cow and give him a cow. He said, yes, okay, no problem. He was even initially asking how he was able to sell the cow and they get the money. Of course, in the end, he agreed to take the cow so that he would sell it and see whether that would, fetch the money he was looking for. And as to whether government actually did not give him money that was clearly an extortion. And that was consistent with the allegations they had leveled against him. He was extorting, he was taking back to free accused person. And even before then, the Bogatanga Municipal Police Commander at the time, Chief Superintendent Samuel T.B. Opunobin, had complained publicly by the senior state attorney Bolson that he was taking money to free crime suspects, and for that matter, making the work of the police service difficult. And that even got that police commander into big trouble, because the office of the Attorney General's Department wrote to the commander to apologize because he had no evidence that Bolson was, taking money to free crime suspects or accused persons. And they gave him 2 weeks. There's a letter to that effect, written, a copy of which I have. They gave him 2 weeks to apologize, to retract and apologize. And if he defaulted, if he failed to do so, then he will be dragged to court. So that commander was under pressure. But in the end, it was proven that this is what actually Bolson was doing against the interest of the state. And the worst, Alex, of it all was, he told the agent to tell the accused person that as soon as he got bail, he should run away. He's there in the documentary film. He was saying it with passion. And at that time, the same accused person was wanted in Burkina Faso for some serious crimes he had committed in that country. and we were told that he was even on the wanted list of Interpol, an international police organization. He was wanted by Interpol. So, a lawyer for government, a lawyer for the state, telling a Syria, someone who has committed crime serially, to run away. That was the same person we were prosecuting. That was a serious issue. So the documentary was finished and produced and aired, and what's the name? It was after it was aired, the Minister for Justice and Attorney General Department at the time, Ms. Gloria Kufu, interdicted Bolson, and then government asked the Legal Service Board to constitute a committee to investigate Bolson further. And that committee was chaired by His Lordship, Justice James Doche. He's a popular Supreme Court judge. So he was the chairman of the committee. So the trial ran for about 4 months. So I was going to Accra from time to time with my agent to appear as witnesses, and then Bolson, the senior state attorney, also came with a lawyer, one Mr. Edward Kojo.
Okay.
So for about 4 months we were there. They mounted their defense. We also give our evidence and all that. So after that, the committee then wrote a report and came out with, their own findings or his own findings and recommendations. Even at the point, I was also pressing the Ministry for Justice and Attorney General Department to also provide a copy of the report to me, but for reasons best known to them, they were not willing to, until when I spoke to the minister, the current minister for the ministry, Dr. Dami. So on last Friday, then he said, well, they had written a statement and the statement will be coming out as to when to come out, where he couldn't tell and all that. So it was Monday or so. It was then made public that he had been dismissed. All the allegations leveled against him had been proven to be true, and for that matter, he should leave the service. He should, of course, they have heard the recommendations of the committee that it should be dismissed. But even beyond the dismissal has been a call for prosecution. Of course, a sentiment I share with people, because what he did clearly to many people is something that should go beyond dismissal.
Dismissal. Okay.
Yes. As in punishment, it should go beyond dismissal. So that is exactly. So the purpose of doing that investigation is to help restore the confidence people said they had lost in the judicial service, just because of the actions of the state attorney.
Okay.
There have been a lot of people have complained. There is a man in Bongo who lost the child, and his child was stabbed to death by somebody who was just committing crime in Bongo for fun. And this man never got justice. Bolson was the one handling that case. The man never had justice. That man is a retired soldier himself. He has planned that his child should also join the armed forces just after he had gone on retirement. And the child had gone for all the things he needed to go for. We were just waiting. He had even gone for the medical screening.
Oh, okay.
The next thing was to be called to at least join the armed forces. When he was killed, he never got justice. The teacher was raped in Bolga. She never got justice. This same person was the one handling it. A lot of cases.
I see.
Armed robbery incidents. The culprit, the suspect caught and brought to court, and then the manner you were advised on docket. I got a number of the dockets, and you even as a layman, you could tell that something had happened behind the curtains.
Okay, Eddie, you produced or published this documentary in October 2019. I hope that's right.
Exactly. Yes, it was aired in October 2019.
Oh, okay. And just within the week, we've seen that he has been sacked and relieved of his duties. How do you feel as the brain behind this tax that you've taken, this worthy tax that you've taken on for the people of the Upper East region?
I feel maybe a bit should I say, fulfilled, not for me, but for the region, that those who, in their numbers, were not happy with the with the law office, the Attorney General Department in the region, for now, or at this time, to be a bit happy that the region has gotten the result they were looking for.
Okay.
The man responsible or allegedly responsible for even responsible for their pains has been taken off the system. So for that matter, the next thing is, okay, let's look at what happens from here. Of course, I will not expect that injustices will just vanish at once. Even after it was interdicted, and those who are going to him to buy justice with money or with anything else, or with goats or whatever, guinea fowls, of course, we will not find him around anymore. But still, we are still recording, crime cases here and there. But I should feel a bit happy that at least he has been taken off, and that's a strong statement to anybody who will replace him in that office. That office is a very sensitive office. It's an office where the lawyer for the state occupies, and most of the criminal cases are handled by that office. So whoever takes over should take a lesson, draw a page from this strong statement that has been made by the dictator of Boyson. And for me, that's how I feel. I feel we should begin to breathe in some fresh air in the wake of the dismissal that has been handed Boyson for now.
Oh, okay. So let's look at post-production of that documentary, the whole procedure from he being interdicted and you going to the court and back. How has the entire process been? Do you think the AG's office and the legal system have handled this particular documentary as it need be?
I think the military, I can say, has done well. The ministry, I mean, there was just no excuse. There was no room for anybody to say what Boyson did as captured in the documentary film.
Okay.
It was good. Even I was told that after the documentary was aired, the senior state attorney quickly tendered a resignation letter. He wanted to resign, and the ministry said no. We will not accept your resignation letter. We will let you go through the process of first hearing. You shouldn't later say you were wrongfully dismissed. So that's what they offered him. He was given fair hearing. In the end, he has been maybe fairly dismissed. And so looking at, well, I can commend the AG for well, not the AG itself, but Justice Dache himself and the members of the committee.
Okay.
Yes, because look, Alex, I can tell you there was pressure on me not to appear before the committee.
Wow.
So I can believe, yes, of course, there should be pressure as well on the committee to not dismiss Boyson. Because I received calls, and even before the documentary was shown, just the promo alone, calls were coming for me not to get it done. And even at the point, if you remember, EID was to show it on a given date, but it wasn't shown. And people were asking questions, what was going on? And there was pressure also on EID as well. Just as much as there was pressure on me as well. So, but in the end, in the midst of all this, I remember I even said, look, if there will be any further delay in showing this thing, I was in Accra at the time, I'll go back to the north and show it on Facebook myself. So, I mean, that was how far it was. And even when at the committee level, after the committee had been constituted for me to appear before the committee, of course, I don't want to mention names, but anytime I say something, I'm sure of it.
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to say anything tomorrow I look foolish. People were sent to me not to appear before the committee. They said once the man had been exposed through the documentary film, it's enough, because now they will dismiss him. So they were telling me not to appear before the committee. After I received an invite from the committee to appear, I was told, not by the committee, but some people who were close to the state attorney. Of course, the state attorney is a highly connected person. He was very powerful in the region. Many police officers, except the commander, feared him. The commander who stood up to him. He could recommend in a way for a police officer to be sacked because he was that powerful. He had connections everywhere. So I wasn't surprised when people from several areas or corners were coming or calling and sending people to Minos to attend for the committee.
So what you're saying is there are some power players behind
the scene. Exactly.
Are the persons in authority?
Of course, yes. Not to appear, because it's connected to some people in government. That's why I said there was just no room for anybody to exonerate him. There was no room. What you said, they look Canada, watched that documentary and just said, look, even way before the committee ever sat, he said there's no way for this state attorney. It's history. So from based on what he said in that documentary, there's no way. Nobody can. There's no way. So the only way, Alex, to get him retained in the system was for him to attend before the committee.
Wow.
An offer or what the proposal or proposal I declined or ignored. I appeared because if I didn't appear, what then happened to my integrity? What people say? People will ask the question, what has happened to it? So and of course, the passion behind it was to restore confidence in the judicial system.
Okay.
Was to promote democracy. Because if people should lose confidence. If people lose confidence in democracy or the justice system, that's the end of society.
Wow. Eddie, we appreciate your work, but how challenging is it doing investigative journalism within our catchment area, especially we in the Upper East region?
Well, you see, I can say that every aspect of journalism is very, very important.
Okay.
If you are doing photojournalism, you are doing any type of, if your focus is on politics, environment, health, whatever, or just doing general stories, everything is very, very important and risky. Even you as you host the morning show, there are issues you'll be raising and somebody is not happy about.
Exactly.
There are contractors in the region who are not doing what they should do. Instead of maybe using 100 bags of cement for a particular building project, they are using 50.
Yeah. And
when such issues come to your attention and you blow it on air, definitely you become an enemy. That person becomes an enemy to you. So, but for me, investigative journalism is the most sensitive one. And for that matter, when you look at the ecosystem, the media ecosystem, investigative journalists are the most endangered species. They are the most endangered species because once you bring out, investigative journalism is about bringing out what somebody doesn't want to. Yes, and mostly they are sensitive issues.
Okay.
Issues that can put your life on the line. So it has not been easy. I've lost a lot of freedom just because of what I've done. So far, and I just feel like it is normal. If you are going to a boxing ring to fight somebody, you should expect that the person will also jab you. It's a normal thing. But that's the job we find ourselves in. So it has not been easy. And for me, the most challenging thing is even how some of our own journalists support those who oppress people against their own or their colleague journalists. That one isn't happening. It is a stark reality, unless I can tell you.
Incidents such as that. Have you encountered any incident such as that where
look, I've encountered a lot. And I'm not alone in this encounter. Look, Manasseh has encountered a lot. Personally, I can say it anyway. I am not happy with what Paul Adomofo is doing to Manasseh. It is wrong. It is just out of the way, and not Paul Adomofo alone. It is wrong. And Anas himself has had his own share of colleagues joining those who oppress people, to try to bring Anas down. Look, there was one thing I wrote some time ago on Facebook. I said, look, we have reached an era where we now need to protect journalists from journalists. Now I say it anyway. In Bogatanga here, There was a time I was sued when somebody assaulted me right inside my own office, all in the line of investigation. The person was not happy, came asking me to name sources. Which journalist will ever name sources? Even me, sources who have died, I will not even name them. Sources who are no more alive, I will not even name them. Let alone those who are even living. And you came to my office, asked me to name sources. I did an investigation on the Ghana Air Service that time, and wasn't happy. He came, assaulted me. He was a member of one association like that. And can you believe? I can say it here. The original DJ chairman, Eric Amo, came as a witness for him in court against him. You can't deny it because the court records are there. He came
as a witness for those who assaulted you.
As a witness for the one who assaulted me. He came, but the standard circuit court. If you even go on the internet, his name is there because there was a story I was written. I won that case anyway, so he was ashamed. And his name is in that story. It's on the internet. Just go and Google. Aditi, what's the name? Court closed out defamation case against Aditi. In other words, I won that case.
Oh, okay.
So his name is there. Eric Amo. He's a current DJ chairman. Eric Amo. Eric Ojo Amo. He came to Bogatanga Circuit Court. He came several times, sitting with people who were against me in court. A journalist. And for reasons best known to him. And remember, if you even go on the internet, you see former President John Dramani Mahama. He said something that, look, some journalists take money to betray their own colleague, to betray their colleague journalists. Is there? After this program, you could just find time to check. Is there? Your viewers and listeners can even go right now on the internet. John Mahama himself, he's a journalist, so he knows what he's talking about. It's a reality. So that is the biggest challenge I see. And the Master wrote something recently about that as well. I think last week or so, talking about he's there. He wrote something earlier, much earlier, even before the recent one. That we also thank God for the good journalists in the media scope or in the media landscape who are also supporting their colleagues. I can name a lot in the region who are supporting me and whom I'm also supporting. We know ourselves. If I mention this, it should not be limited to the list.
I see.
I mean, Francis Zaban, Metro TV. He's a good person. They are supporting, the cause, the campaign for justice in the region. This fundamental of Daily Graphic. What's the name? Osman Wakil, who is with you there.
Oh, okay.
He's a very good friend. Wakil is a very disciplined person. He's been a great friend. Look, he was in charge of one radio station in Doga here, and he was just more than the best there.
Wow.
I can tell you.
I see.
It's not so. I will not say so. He's so great a person. He's passionately attached to what he does. And you have even Simon in Boku West there too. He's doing his best.
Okay.
Simon, yes. I think it's probably known as Alaka or something.
Yes.
So
Alaka.
in Boka here, you have Castro in Ablongo. Castro is Ghana where he's doing his best. They are Simon Adana, Gaspard, Ayunia. They are there. And in the same region, we have people, I won't mention those names.
I see.
They are also killing everything. Yes, Alex.
Yeah, as you've been mentioning about various journalists and their work, do you agree with the current submission by Sir Sam Jonah on the culture of silence creeping into the Ghanaian society, especially with media practitioners not saying things the way they need to say it in recent times?
That is true. The culture of silence is a stark reality. Anybody wants to deny it is only doing so maybe for propaganda sake or because the person has attached to an entity that is not favored by that truth or by the truth of the fact that yes, we are being confronted with the culture of the silence in this country. And it goes back to what I was saying. Money is a factor. The lust, you see, craving, avarice. You just want money at all costs. So you put ethics aside, you put professionalism aside, you put the interest of the state aside, you put your own interest ahead of the interest of the public. That's what it's one of the reasons we have culture of silence, because if some journalists are paid to keep quiet. So that's why we have silence in the media. And another factor, of course, is the threat. Some are easily threatened.
I see.
And something they betray from their colleagues. If your colleagues are trying to outlaw you, that outlawing alone is enough to discourage you. They put you in a state of outlawing. You are not law, and you feel like you are alone in this fight. In the end, if you are not strong-hearted, if you are faint-hearted, you along the line give up somewhere. Okay. So it is a reality. Some people have decided to go for money, so when they see the truth, they keep quiet. Exactly. So that accounts for utter silence. Threat is part of it. Then betrayal from colleagues, not getting encouragement from colleagues and all that. It's part of it. It's a reality under this current government. I can say it's a reality. Okay. That one, no one can run away from it. And I will encourage journalists. Look, you are trained, you are engaged, you are paid to step on toes. Feel free to step on toes that are standing in the way of justice. Step on them. In fact, don't step on only toes, step on feet. If anybody puts his feet on the road to justice, step on the feet. If they put their stomachs on the road, and that road is linked to justice for the public, step on feet, step on toes, step on tummies. You are paid, you are trained, you are engaged to step on toes. Never step.
Okay, finally, what's the way forward for the fight, if I should say, against corruption, and for us as Ghanaians to all enjoy the share of the national cake without some people embezzling our funds, and also some people taking bribes and making sure that justice is not delivered as it need be?
Well, clearly, the way forward is to ensure that when cases of corruption are reported and even investigated, the recommendations should reflect the truth of the matter. And if the recommendations say that the person should be punished for, what the person, he or she has engaged in, the person should be punished. It shouldn't be a case of somebody has been reported, all the allegations leveled against the person have been proven to be true, and then in the end the person is cleared. When we clear people who perpetrate crime, you end up saying crime or corruption has been normalized. You see? Yes, I mean you don't legitimize corruption, and when you do so, you have legitimized corruption.
Oh, okay.
So it means it is normal. So when you free people, when you clear people, you are legitimizing corruption. In other ways, it is just do it and get yourself cleared. So the only way, I think the best way is to get people punished when they are caught, and it is proven that yes, they really perpetrated what they have been said to have done.
Oh, okay.
Get them punished. That's for me. That's the only way. People always attempt to do what is wrong, and when they do what is wrong, of course, get them punished. But at the same time, too, my own style of whatever I do, and I think people may buy into it. I don't think we should look. If somebody for me personally, maybe that I should just limit to myself. There are people who are needy, and you find them doing what they shouldn't do. For me, I think we should rather show more sympathy towards such people. Those who are greedy, you have had enough, and you are still looking for more. There are people you should start with.
I see. Edward, thank you very much for your time. I think we will find another time to actually discuss more on the works of journalists, especially the young ones within the region and the country at large. We do appreciate your time this morning.
I'm so blessed with you, Alex, and many thanks to all your viewers and listeners. May God grant them a nice day today.
Thank you very much. God bless you in return.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
Okay. So, wow. That was a long and then interactive and very wordy. Hey, Charlie, all the adjectives I have to bring them. One with Edward Adeti. He is an investigative journalist, and he has just gotten results from his Cash for Justice documentary, which was aired in October 2019. So so sega wa me translate ne tebulasi da Edward adete ona ne laba ya tomtom ka on man investigative journalism it is wa bang yelbin den na the asie ka fiagos bolga solom teda more the ane lawyer so me if ya more so king fiagba water be fiagba in bed be nin kan tomtom kan bonara more king den ane police station ka police anoko Ninsia state attorney na metebe ba an lawyer na ba na reba more case aken court ani king ka more ka judge na manyange nokosop dollars wadala na reda asim ba daukanga Mr. Emmanuel Lawrence Otu Boysen on be bolga yumba nani feada king onsan ba da kongba wada be nimbed on to continue legally ka kon ka case akwi keka niri bolga yunda atige ye bayagba wadare kengete sponsor de bokin tune kanyo aye ba ko niri bayagba baba men ka fiagos yo onda kelek bomba na man bolga solom bonkan ka daw kanga man be bolga la fiagos on a lawyer bane ite more case aken quarter on aba kwem anina ka sansa wo ko ite de ligna de date kenaka soda kenge bib so poa ka case kanga king daw wasan ko on labaya dis kan ka sons no wana la dollar nina yo vens daw kangawa ka on dollar nina la okay ka so kinga nina kinge yel paso wene on ane ninkane daw kan ka bagbala suzwa ka yelo ye oboro sungol ye ba ke ko obira yi sarkalani bozugo on obikane da degen ne kinge bibso poala ka daw kanga da die ligrusan onda die ligrusan ka baswa kiede ka landie book karabo kan on menga da sos bu la yawa morbo bu kan morpo kenato ka wada mor kingeto ka oda die de beni na ka yang oda yang kiede wana be camera ni ka bada noko pal dunia la wosa dawla kesa da dula bada keka bayisu to malani for them barabo sako bada keneko wasik kabotoma ka lebe ka nanana bakwa kangani kati yompa mbankari ina pali dawa bakaronya yis tomalani katwa ne tomka na koda toma yela benzugo ediye de mas onye de power na bat de bonare bakon karo yis tomalani mane ane badol wadaka koto gbaw ko fe agos daw kanada bi point wana koda de ligri hal kana yela bay dawla ya yina onam palo yamyi o ayina onda be bolga solom onzo yitingena ka polons da yangalem pam gbawla so the sons kan pam kopia about then laba diesere tenam siba tum beto malani itubo songot ye bagbani bana tum kana bonara bozugo ligri yela o sobo mo ligla zuk ka napam si le tefazuk lan bambane gunne vincent wena anasna wena manasna ma ka labaya die siba lankisiba toma kala itebodi ba toma da king songa so 96.9 Maxx Empire sansala kai mpapo ndengi ele tena sons ne Halidu Solomon abogre one ane bank sobodo tete trainee nurses and midwife association begana kwa bara mono bagbanga yina katwane ba allowance yela katada son se de Maxx Empire bega mpaye tie den ane Ghana Ministry of Health me morbangi yina pia katwane ba allowance yela miakin kaleba Halidu bezongon kwe tena son kana telep king ayisoba ni my friend 96.9 Max Empire FM. Posia Kenyas 96.9 Max Empire Max Morning Show. Bega. Bapun Daniele Ghana Ministry of Health. So bang yele teacher trainees ba allowance yelala kakam konkam excepts of it. Katatilani re GNMTA demands 8 months allowance owed trainee nurses and midwives by government. The attention of the Ministry of Health has been drawn to a publication in some traditional and social media platforms about a press release written and circulated by the Ghana Nurses Midwife Trainee Association alleging non-payment of 8 months of nursing and midwifery trainee allowances. And I would like to highlight the word alleging. And then it moved for us to say the release further alleges that the Ministry of Health has stopped the payment of nursing training allowances to students pursuing the various professional programs in the training institutions, thereby creating hardship for the students and parents. The academic year of health training institutions under the Ministry of Health spans 10 months, i.e. September to June each year. The 2019-2020 final year students who were due to complete their studies in June 2020 together with other continuing students of the year had parts of their academic calendar disrupted by the outbreak of COVID-19 disease in March 2020 and the subsequent lockdown of the country, which affected the educational institutions including the health training institutions. However, there was a window for the final year students of the 2019-2020 academic year to return to school around October 2020 to complete their programs of study. The government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Health in 2020, paid 3 months arrears January, February, March 2020 to continuing students of the 2019-2020 batch of students who were admitted into the health training institutions for 2020-2021 academic year could not start their programs of study in September 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic and the closure of education institutions. They, however, started their courses in January 2021. Let's take note of that date, January 2021 instead of September 2020, and due for payment of 3 months trainee allowances January, February and March. In the meantime, the Ministry of Health has processed the payment for January, February and March 2021 for continuing students, which has been approved by the Ministry of Finance for the Controller and Accountant General to release the funds. And it concludes that the Ministry of Health wishes to assure the public that it does not owe any student to the tune of 8 months as stated in the press release. Neither has the ministry stopped the payment of training allowances to students of government health training institutions. The payment are in arrears of 3 months, April, May and June 2020 for the 2019-2020 batch final year students who completed their courses in December 2020. The arrears for 2 cohorts of students, as mentioned earlier, are being processed for payment. We therefore call on students to exercise restraint and wait for payment. Signed, Kobina Bedu Oko Afari, Chief Director for Ministry. We have in the studio Mr. Halidu Solomon Abugri. He is Secretary for Education and Registration at that particular association. Halidu, good morning and welcome to the Max Morning Show.
Good morning.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Alexander.
Okay.
And I would like to say good morning to the management of Max Empire TV / FM. And then again, a very good morning to all trainee nurses and midwives across the length and breadth of Ghana who are listening to us now. I
see. We spoke to you the day before yesterday. That was on Monday, exactly on the release that your association brought to the public, and you, among other things, said the ministry or government, in essence, it's owing the trainee nurses and midwives 8 months of allowance. Now you've received the rebuttal, if I should say, from the Ministry of Health. What is your initial reaction to this particular release from the ministry?
Thank you very much. In fact, yesterday, that was in the evening, I would say trainee nurses and midwives, we were shocked to our bone marrow when we saw this release on their social media page. That stated that they do not owe trainee nurses 8 months, but rather 3 months. And
yeah,
so
3 months arrears.
Exercise restraints. And then the fact was that there are so many erroneous impressions in there that we as National Executive Board of JIMTA want to use this platform to clear the doubts and misconceptions in their release. And that is why we are here. I'm here this morning. When you want to look at it, the 2019-2020 academic year, we started it and we were supposed to end somewhere in June. So I want to start from the 2 last payment that they made. We received payment for December to February 2020 payment on July 16th, 2020. And then again, we received another payment for March, April, May on 19th November 2020.
Okay.
So we were surprised to see something on their rebuttal or their release stating that they made payment for January, February, March to trainee nurses and midwives. And I don't know where that came from. We are here and we have that here with me, and that payment was not made for January, February, March 2020, but rather March, April, May, which they still owe 1 month arrears for those who have completed so far. But we want to make it clear to the general public that the government of the day promised to pay trainee nurses and midwives this allowance to augment our stay in school. And so we're told that they will pay us 10 months out of the 12 months in a year. And so we didn't say anything. We received that gladly because we know that, as it has been stated, that it is coming to augment our stay in school. So they paid us leaving June. So we're waiting to see if the rest of the arrears will be cleared. We waited up to now that we have not received anything.
So are you talking of the 2019-2020 final year batch that received their allowance in June?
It was general.
Oh, okay, general.
Yes.
Okay.
General. So all of us received the allowance on 19th November 2020. That started from March, April, May. So in a year we were supposed to take 10, but we ended up taking 9, leaving June for that academic year.
And
so
that was in 2020.
So we're supposed to start the next academic year, which will start on September 2020 and will end somewhere June 2021. Because of the outbreak of the pandemic, we were not able to receive freshers, and so we were also in the house by then, where freshers were not allowed to report because of the pandemic. And so we're waiting to receive payment from June 2020 to today as we speak, March. And that is from June, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. And that is 8 months.
But from the release, they are saying that let me take that for you, that particular aspect for you, so that you get it. The academic year of health training institutions under the Ministry of Health spans 10 months, that is September to June.
Yes.
That means that for every academic year, it's 10 months that you have in a year. And because of the disruption in the from the COVID-19 pandemic, that means there were some months that you were not in school. And so you still demand they pay you for those months.
Thank you very much. Even though we're asked on the 16th to leave to our various destinations, to our various homes. Here is the case: we spent like 8 weeks in school, where other weeks were left. We started some of our courses to the middle where we didn't finish. So we're reassured and asked to do online classes, where the ministry again by then told us that they were going to provide data packages to help students undertake online classes. It will surprise you up to date that students are back to school, we didn't receive a penny of that data bundles. And so we use our own data to do our online studies. And so some institutions completed their end of semester while they were on COVID-19 lockdown.
Oh, okay.
And so government didn't tell us that during the inauguration ceremony for this payment of training allowance in Sunyani NMTC, that when it comes to unforeseen circumstances, they won't be able to pay training allowances. We were not told so. We were told that they are going to pay us allowances, and we know that anything
but
that
that's what the release now is suggesting, that within that period you were not under any academic under the academic calendar, and so they didn't calculate, because from their calculation they only owe you 3 months arrears since you resumed in January, February and March.
When you want to look into it, they were saying that we were not in school, but how come a letter was given to us and you reassured us that data packages will be given to us to undertake online studies?
So was that from the ministry or from specific nursing training institutions?
From the ministry, of course. We were asked to take online studies serious, because when you look at other institutions like the universities, they were giving data bundles. I can say of Legon, they were giving data bundles to undertake their
but
online,
you know, with them, some of them, it's based on the institution themselves.
Yes.
You change the size that you go to,
but we as
a different school is not the same.
We as leaders were there to also ask, as far as we are also in the tertiary institutions, we ought to also do some of them, because you can't say you want to sit in the house and wait when will COVID-19 pandemic come to an end. So do we say, or are we going to say that because COVID-19 will not end, the health workers or those who are in school will not be released to go and do their national service or to go and work as nurses? Because in Ghana, as we speak, we need a lot of health workers to augment the system run. And so we were in school, or for me to say, we were there in the house, but we were learning using our data bundle, and we are supposed to take. Government didn't tell us that, or government didn't communicate to us as leaders that because of the outbreak of the pandemic that we were in the house, they are not going to pay us. We went there in several occasions. What we were told is that it will be paid in due course. They are working on it. And so we came back and gave the communique to our members. The government is assuring us that they will pay in due course, and so they should exercise that restraint.
And your communique stated it, including the times that you were out of school due to COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes, when we went to the ministry, that was the statement we made clear to them, and so we even counted, and they helped us to even count the number of months we were owed. So we were surprised to hear this release yesterday, stating that they don't owe any training nurse and midwives in Ghana.
Yeah, they say they only arrears for 3 months. You resumed in January, February, and March. We are in April now.
They also stated that that finalists, that's those who completed in October 2020, that they reported in their release, that they reported in October, which is not true. We reported back to school in June 11th, 2020, and so we were asked by the Minister of Health to exit from our various campuses for continuous students to report in August. The letter they gave us is dated 17th August 2020, that we should exit to our various days. So if we were not on campus from June to October, how then was that letter asking us to exit to our various home? And continuous students were back to school. Some reported back to school September 20th, even though we had some of our finalists in school by then, because we wrote this exam in badges where we have the diploma and then the certificate. And so the diploma RGN started first before the NAP and NAC students.
Okay. I don't know whether I should bring Halidu. Which one's your first name? Halidu, Solomon, or?
My first name is Solomon.
Solomon, okay. So Solomon, I've seen that at this particular moment, both the ministry and your association are different. You are parallel. So after receiving this message from the ministry, what has the national executive for Gimta decided to do? What is the way forward for you people? You've given them 1 week ultimatum to either pay the allowances that they owe you, or direct the institutions to allow students who have made 60% payment to write their exams. Now they are coming out with this information, which you are saying that is different from what you know. They are saying 3 months arrears they owe you. You are saying 8 months. They need to pay 8 months. So what exactly is the way forward for you people as an association?
As leaders, and one of our philosophical statement is that we will always use dialogue and lobbying and non-violent means to get our problem addressed. That is why it's been stated in our Constitution, Article 2, Section 4, that states that we will only use the most appropriate bureaucratic but suitable means to get our problem resolved. We were able to do or pass through all those process or procedures that can get our issues addressed by writing letters to ministry, because our members were crying. They were asked to go home somewhere March, and they returned to school in September, and then in January they were asked to pay school fees, where feeding fee was increased to 900 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, we had 6 weeks outstanding where we were not on campus, and by then we were doing it online. So online, do they feed students online? We didn't complain. And then again, we were asked by the government, or we were told that they will be paying us 400 Ghana cedis, but ended up receiving 399.25. We are not complaining again, but to the extent that they are 399.25 Ghana cedis.
That's very close to 400.
That is very close, but you can imagine deducting 0.75, multiplying by the over 80,000 students. You know the amount you are going to get, but we don't care about that or whether about that. What we are saying is that they are owing our members 8 months, and as national executive, after receiving it, we have a release this morning, and that will be shared to all media houses, and that's what the Minister of Health is telling us. It is untrue. There's a saying that when you see a tooth running at daytime, the speed of it determines what is chasing the tooth.
So looking at what you people are deciding to do, we are waiting and looking ahead to see what will be contained in your release later in the day. But we are in a time that almost every aspect of the economy and the country is ravaging due to COVID-19, and they promised you data when you were home. Don't you think it will be prudent maybe if you allow those months of the allowance to the government for the sake of the nation?
Thank you very much. That is why we are human beings, and there's no association with our leaders. We as leaders or national executive of Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association, they could have called us for a roundtable discussion for the way forward, explaining things to us that because of ABCD we won't be able to do ED for you. And so we wouldn't have complained, because we communicated back to our members to prepare. Because as we speak now, when they came back to school, some have to go and borrow money, because some depends on that. Because there is a thing that when you have hope, it's better than being hopeless. And because of that hope, I just went to borrow money. They pay a huge sums of money. Some pay over 3,000 Ghana cedis, and then you pay that, and then the next semester you've been asked to pay 7,700 Ghana. Where are you going to get that money? So some students borrowed those kind of monies to help pay their fees, are waiting for dear trainee to alert to land on their phone for them to withdraw that money to go and pay people that they took monies from. And so it will not be good at this time as leaders for us to say we want to add it to the COVID-19 fund that we are doing to help assist government of the day.
I see. Alidu, but how is this affecting your members? Before I take your final comments, how is this whole situation affecting your members across the country?
In fact, this allowance, it affects our members a lot. What pains me or what saddens my heart that when I hear about this is the National President of Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association and the National Women Commissioner have not been able to receive their allowance for the past 30 months as we speak.
What's peculiar with them that they've not received it for 30 months?
We have a lot of people too that also have the same problem. And then every day what they keep on telling us is that compile list. And we've been doing. We have people who reported to school and they've not received even 1 month. But we are still passing through that dialogue and non-violent means to get a problem resolved. But it is getting to a place that the students are not crying and they are saying that they are suffering. On 12th April to 23rd April, we went around the whole country, all the nursing and midwifery training colleges in the country. As it is part of our core mandate to always visit our grassroots members, that are training nurses, to find out about their concerns and their plights as students. One of the main challenges or one of the main issues they raised was we are suffering because we need allowances to pay our fees. We need allowances to buy handout. We need allowances to go and rent rooms for our districts. We need allowances to go, when we go there, we'll be able to feed. And so we are not just talking with our facts, we are talking with facts and figures. We are talking from the heart of trainees. We are talking about the plight of their trainees across the length and breadth of Ghana this morning.
Finally, let me take your final words because of time, and then we'll pick some few calls and run out the show this morning. So, Solo, what's your final words, especially to the authorities and also to your members who are listening?
To my members, what I'll tell them is Jimta in our motto in Article 1, it says that we'll always do all for the health of all. And that is what we are doing. That is why we didn't just start with what we call radical ways to get our problems addressed. And so we are working hard, hand in hand, to get their issues addressed. But what we want each trainee to know this morning is that we want an official invitation as we speak now from the ministry for us to do a roundtable discussions to get this issue solved once and for all. Because as we speak now, others are undertaking their exams today and others will be starting next week, and principals are on their next day in and day out, where students sometimes are being asked to go out to go and look for. It will surprise you to know that a student in one of the training institutions in the Upper West region, when we were doing our tour, stated that sometimes he has to go out and go and do some 1-2 liberal work to get some money to come and then pay and relax. So if we have a student not getting that peace of mind to learn and pass the exam, where are we heading towards? So want the ministry to take a second look at the release they came out with.
I see. Okay, thank you very much, Solo, for your time. He is the Secretary for Education and Information for GIMTA, that is the Ghana Association for Trainee Nurses and Midwives. 96.9 Maxx FM. Me Zina Bega, Nasala Zun, Nasala Zun, Zina Bega. The interview so was an Nasal. But Tinam Compiano Solo to Piano Katuan and the nurses allowance. Babu Daniela Beg in the Ministry of Health ina yele ka warsa ka 8 months ka bang ninge leading na yo ane warsa ta trainers me aye ka for August Ministry of Health reason na ani coronavirus ata ma barabo be sukune so barabo kan sanka na presse school bi bisa me banda be yin kara zamsat online ba me da ba na da data tiba de bo ela for August ba me yetala ba me da yo school fees the school fees cover period sie ba ka covid da kinala ka bo kare yi nanana ani warsa tan ka ba yo ba kare ka warsa ayopo bebo itala. What's a knee? Oh, okay. Knee sounds like 9. 96.9 Max Empire FM. So they are similar. Benina Nana Tana piano solo yele goma bayani anaba last kina zineba ka basons ya kala the banyan kende asiema so bampam na mena so bang kadina ya mina temena keka da pa Kelsey da bosa na yogon bang wisa ka for me bola for be yin tanam son sia begala wosa for boy for more seal kanala ya data meka ya surprise next week namora kenati ya 96.9 Max Empire FM messages keka miabo karo banana nam nata Alexander, I agree with Sam Jonah's comment because someone who wants to criticize Akufo-Addo's government, the person will be in trouble. For example, Manasseh Azuri and Joy News journalist Captain Smart, Angel FM, Oheneba Boama, Power FM Accra, and many more. What happened to them? From Albert Akugri, do nothing. Albert, thank you once more for your message. Good morning, Alex. This is Osman from Gumyoko. Please, when is SHS 3 students going back to campus? Okay, I'll cross-check that and get back to you. When is SHS 3 students going back to campus? We'll check the new one. The last time it was me, but we'll check the new reopening dates that have been set out for from the Ghana Education Service. But let me also acknowledge some of our viewers on Facebook, those of you who are watching us live across the globe, who have also contributed to the show. Tegos Nimbane Mebe, the Facebook live Bane send comments here about some messages here. This person says, good morning crew of Max. Good morning. Jonathan Hassan. Jonathan, thank you very much. I know you are doing the viewing somewhere at the University of Education, Winneba. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Musa Ibrahim, watching you live from Accra. Sunday, Ayen Bena. Okay, Sandy says, I'm enjoying the topic for the day. Thank you very much, Sandy, for your message. Justice Papanya, watching you live from Boli, NMTC. The National Military Training College. Okay, thanks for your good works. Continue to do all for the health of all. Nana Che Sikapa says the response from Ministry of Health claiming they owe trainings for only 3 months, it's false. So I think he's another aggrieved trainee nurse there. Mbun Ibrahim say, watching you live from Accra, Dome Plateau. Great work. Mbun, thank you very much for watching from my hood there in Accra, Dome Plateau. 96.9 Max Empire FM. Oh, okay. The reopening date. Okay, let me just give you that shortly. For Form 3 students, reopening May 5th, 2021. So Form 3, SS3, Bisa, Lebede, May. Marka ni tell Dabso Manudar, May 2021. Kaya Lebed. SS2 Green Track, reopening the 1st June 2021. 1st June, sir. SSS2 Gold student. Okay. Bana on a vacation ela. Gold bana vacation. So reopening sa ane SSS3 reopening the May 5th 2021. The SSS2 Green Track students reopening 1st June 2021. Beni 96.9 Max Empire FM. Sansa payam yogum bangwisa kayana wambeyina me nyange bula before that come additionally. Okay, SSS 3 students reopening May 5th 2021. SSS 2 student then vacation date I'm not confused about. So reopening date sama katateba kekati yok bangwisa nana na kafamitombula 0248 555 009 0248 555 009 0382 097387 0248 555 009 0382 097387. I'm king of first caller on a subject.
Alexander, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name, where you calling from?
Mamuni said nothing. Albert Amuri wana.
Okay, Albert came to the timber.
Mam pose ya bara na tom kunga ka kundone usaso migano wasa.
Okay.
On comment of Sanjana stories na serious one. And akufodu the administration. Say phone kan isi for me for 50,000 bra. Whatever you mean
I see.
The sort of technical Minister of Finance, Minister of Health. I calculate my menu. Ogosumka, your valuations, mother. So, Babu, you have to make a willing push of back of the Suling Bad. I'm going to talk man soon.
Okay. Okay, me posia ne footballer 0248555009. Vodafone 0382097387. Hello, do you well for your football Lucia? Okay, Adolo, posia baraka no for young and Sonsinete Bega. Kim to ne for. Okay.
Tamami Bombala or Mane. Ogosumka, you are begging not to swear. Bazuka Milawana, Barna, COVID-19, I can learn to see children allow you a kitchen and Barabin Tikira. Another I have a boy about one and another Barabasake. Can you let I COVID-19 to clean because online? Can I be one? Namkuya one banner. When to Zakarabama, Bayisu, Basako Balagalas, Bamoyapa.
Okay.
On a fence, my having Yamaran, you look around Nano Kupidunu, but there's a mullet that cut me bid now, whatever upon Caravan, the board by you, please.
Yes.
The Waka Park about the car of combat, the Willa Pension will go. On that, there's a bull of a
I see. Okay, but they can afford for this Edward if you have to find an apart. Okay. 0248555009. Full line now for Tombula. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you will.
Hello,
for your football near Lucia. Okay, Haruna. Hello, the King at you. You will have a layer. I can have a chicken and a valuable ticket. And a nursing trainees, Banazam Sedeva Kilimnes, Namabala Wansa. Katicha Nama Bandiva yacht. Okay. Oh, okay. To Posia and the footballer. Okay. Hello. Yeah, Jola. Yeah, for your football, Lucia. George, you Diane. Bakang, okay, George, came to the team. Bakulier bagwano kaya jana please jana kayo ni pin number ai bakulier dunam sunam tar namre kuni ara ma so ka sisi kani so bagwano ndana ma sin ka to beta de okay ka ba yo fara ka kapten di ko di ni go so ta o gali kai kun ban wa halani ya wala bang ko ka tuni jana fu sama okay me posia ne football hello La for you for Bonilosia.
Honorable Isaac, please.
Okay.
And money for say Jinka Secretary Latin there. I'm on about the farm, the same thing because not in a mandate and the turned out of 2020. So, but I told him, but I was from Karkina for 1 month. So, 9 years was there. So, that 1 month, the 2 months and a half completed, and I have to wear it now. So, that is the reality that they have a full business about more than 8 months. The 3 months.
I see.
But I'm not a computer and better because along with that, can I solve any kind of business? Not really. They don't want to do some fees.
Okay.
The man of the community is very nice about a year and 3 months. Nothing really but more. So, the first thing will be say, I'm not going to and now from 2020 Karatarayo and 1 month. And you over there to 2 seconds.
Okay, so for Yabambane 2020 them, but I over now call me 1 month when I'm hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Jola. I'm for Bonilosia. Oh, sorry for line now. Boyang is here. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Laughabet, do some go. Okay, but for you, for Bonnie Lucia.
Robert Ayaba.
Okay.
Need to go parking a man Ben Accra.
Okay, Robert for Ben Accra. Hope forgot it in the Facebook Live.
No, my friend.
Oh, okay. Okay, Kim Tune.
Okay, when you commented about it was mechanical too much. In fact, I check a Kusala and Kaida, and I'm some time busy in the young now. And the book Kulamina is in the Anne. Come on, upon meeting, even in Sarkat Momalison.
Okay. Okay, Timmy Posia, Kaposia Lambosa, Banikelga 96.9 Maxx Empire FM for Meton Kekate, Banger for Potera ACM 0248555009. Hello.
Albert, one is the row.
I don't know, Albert.
Albert, do nothing.
Okay, Albert.
And the full time COVID-19, yeah, through COVID-19, yeah, COVID-19, yeah, COVID-19. So, Masa, Sanga John Daman, Mama Sanga, Igor, because of performance. Kafu COVID-19, COVID-19, or was in Martin Naru. Drum do not think on the light, the drum on some papers gone. I'm very disappointed. Thank you very much.
I see, okay, Teposia Barka. Oh, I'm very disappointed in the current situation now. Hello. Oh, sorry. Next caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Diola.
Hello.
For your football, Nilosia. Oh, okay. Keep doing so.
I'm posting to Sumaya. Really, Sagas, like an Antanara from Kako, very Palo, the men are able to find because Banakaka, Nai, Natilla. So the Naraba to Diana to Mosto Mala, the Yanasum to find. Like in charity, one not to see in Polka, Copiad in a one naka, Piadi Siguna. There are lies there with Namela, the Pum Anadoli, Yapa or Samus, a fake at the Piarella. No.
Okay.
Do not think the Singata, the Kazina, come to Baraka and collect life. So I'm really sharp on need to tell at the King Sosa. So you're a pub and a life, and can a power.
Oh, okay. So, Eddie Bona investigation na the car judge Kabagba and state attorney la on a prosecuted on a etokondi any legal la kaye for bottom to bed. I can court and the pian fasa kabayisi for bus. Okay. Hello. Laugh about for you for Bonyelosia.
I'm
Lenoko for your atom come upon the singer.
My honorable John Day Jr., Honorable John Day Jr.
Okay, John Day Jr.
Yes,
Garu. Oh, okay. John Day Jr. Can do it.
I'm not president secretary there. Among because we get ladies commissioner implement school in animal meat. Any 18 months on a receive allowance.
Okay.
The power man to make several people in the school but they receive they are putting the king for their man or getting for the king for their man, mama. About you get it above it. So that means that we will be signed by the food. People have me written on any high 60 letters by the English. The estimate is record. The high 8 months of the criminal European and 3 months. So in that we got the names in a teacher said I in a rap or about I do online. Online in a power because of window and the teacher said I
okay.
I think I'm having a month you can yes, that means that the answer not random country and put a very long.
Okay. There go ne fonya bulletin 0248 555 009. Hello. 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 Yeah, you're
La paix.
For you for Bonnie Lucia.
Malgré bien il pousse là.
Came to the table.
I'm a gata bonaya. Wana la o nyane o nyanne de o boro heda le chekina moro to mare da heda for gana dem tela ya kala na tom ya ba kala ya le unam phone unam chat phone unam dum zin iba parent te phone na ba parent te phone ka fumbel ni ribere ka azina yum pisisa da fun kena le mo ba son phone ka phone e bonne lenkin sofuna because ani ayon ka so fu da zigo Tima the castle TV station na mouse after isu ina kwa karo anani bed ona samkom.
Oh, okay. I see. Bosi apa agrada you are the pastor. Oh, sorry, Kamal mistake cut us up call up the melembula me for nam say pam kampe lembula. Hello. Yeah, Diola.
La pure.
Hello, Felicia.
I'm a blue village had it bathroom.
Oh, okay, came to
the Bola campaign. Me, Ghana, Barry, I need your medicine, Sivita, but doctor and the because Bamiya, some doctor and cotton to my Badian Kena, I'm on a language of the movement of your car, now free, Captain, minutes, I'm on wheel down back to doctor, then you cut Chinese vanity.
Oh, okay, Timmy, post here 02485555009. Nisi better by try to call cover palmer, so Zina, Mtea, and Santa Papier at least. For now, hello. Yadiola. For beautiful.
I'm going to close.
Okay. Okay, tomorrow thing and no cool Zungo. Okay, make him to the
the government there. Yeah, man, to get a young son, that could be sending that kind of thing. Never, I said to be current to see some the dog with I see it. And I was almost going to be down, come on, do that in my alarm. I have an another dog that do that, you know. So, although when in Dallas, I am looking at money.
Yeah, Diola. La Fubala. I don't care. I know that. Nash came to the tip.
Yeah. So my thing next allowance. There's a 2016 now. This thing is a banana cake. I could already go to because or I not but your mama can't sell allowances. Where can I want to live in? So your mama and that can't sell a more big or I can't say no come here. Can you know for you? They can't win what? Because now Ghana Pumanga, the Ghana Money, get the more Salama, the more good, the more Bonama. I didn't have many ban art, nurses, I'm a ban art in your whole right. Bayaka Yakate.
Okay.
He can a Mayaka Yakate. He's a big salmon. So I don't go to what I am making you about. But I am going to take Nubatoma one listening. I am not so much. Yakala. The Kwanama from that is the.
Okay, me post ya for Katabanga for Hotel Burger Ben 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. I'm not finding out two callers. Mid morning dim. Got my any fame. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name, where you calling from?
I'm the Jessica calling from Kumasi.
Oh, okay. Please kindly go with your submission.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. I just want to thank the national executives of Jenta for their hard work that they've been doing for our training nurses.
Okay.
But you see, what the Ministry of Health, what these people are saying, that's not the fact. They have to understand. MP.
MPs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
You to call my as a public camera, vanity lady. I did a couple of Goma and Bango, one other.
Okay,
I'm already covered Goma.
Okay.
So ya go bomba mama kete eto go to vote akayanga teka bayanga so teka tanya kenchu.
Oh, okay.
Kete ya vote vote banan aye to bene one way. Kete kirku ye to bo reta malo. Mbota reta malo kete ne yan wanga tana bo shimba.
Okay. Tana bo dab so sons bana bakwe ka. So come find out call kanga.
Tara fiit gom ala gala sara.
Oh, okay. Okay, to go. Mbelo for body lesa.
Asawan kuda gona YouTube sa pile. Kom volum fata.
Oh, okay. Mbelo me phone am last caller. Malme de gingatim.
Man bodem pe silvira ne. Baba yak man on yina e M7 ba look ye. Baba ya dem panga to mo to mo da. Te bo hinam bana baba ya dem je. They want to sit in the very castle.
The other question can be Brazil.
Yeah, sit I mean, not a enemy, can't hear.
Oh, okay.
The castle and Gloria, you don't hear.
Oh, okay.
You can let Pesane, they think really, shall be some men now. Here, but I know that road government.
Hello.
So Balin cannot appear government of Yoba. This card is not you go better for one.
Oh, okay.
Government Mukumka me Boba Yoba. The Allen Castle I put a longer in business.
Oh, okay. Teposia. Phone arm last caller. Unfortunately, Tebola Yang no Busa Yekwe. Tepapum Pia Gimta na release but kodom already can I come reading na kaju kam sansala pane mbele me dalembula mbele tebula no kod call producer mbele me offer nail at Vodafone natem so release one for immediate release GNMTA response to Ministry of Health on 8 months unpaid allowance. The National Executive, any stakeholder engage the leadership of trainee nurses in that regard. Why have the Ministry of Health kept on reassuring? Health kept on reassuring us that our arrears will be paid inclusive last year when they were cooking this directive backdoor? That is a question to the ministry. It is also worth noting that amidst the COVID-19 outbreak and its disruption on the academic calendar, students were still made to pay full fees for such semesters which they didn't spend in school. This is considered as a hypothetical insult to human dignity, which must be given a second thought and redress. The above notwithstanding, students were also buying data to partake in online studies, which the Ministry of Health in several occasions promised the leadership of trainee nurses and midwives to get data packages to enable them partake in their online studies, but only turned out to be a hoax. Till date, before they resumed between September to November, and some vacated early December in 2020. We therefore do not understand where the Ministry of Health finds that students were not in school within the set time and hence do not deserve to be paid. In the light of this, we at Genta still stick to our initial release because we are sure of our records. With the fact that June, September, October, November, December 2020 were not all paid, including January to April 2021, making it a total of 8 months. We therefore call on His Excellency the President to redeem his pledge to ease the suffering of trainee nurse. The reason he made a pact with us to pay it. Note well, we are not owed 3 months, and we are open for any national debate in any medium or platform where necessary to clear this area. National President Asa Lambert and Sobila, General Secretary. Okay, so I think we will still have some days with the Ghana Nurses Midwife Training Association and the Ministry of Health on this particular issue. You've told us that this release was forthcoming and it's here, and you've made statement that exactly most of them are found here. Finally, before we go, what do you have to say?
I would like to thank all those who were able to phone in, and also thank those who called but they were not able to make it through. Someone asked that whether the last 1 month of those who are in the ward currently will be paid. I want to assure him that that is why we are here today. That is why this communique is out there. They must be paid. We were promised and it must be delivered.
I see. Okay, thank you very much, Halid Solomon Abogri. He is National Secretary in charge of education and registration for the Ghana Nurses Midwife Training Association. Teposia was Abarika 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. Zina, yeah, said that. Producer for what him go Zina. Okay, man, no, I'm telling man, no. That is just what I Maxx Empire FM. I will hear my book Moses and next fantastic mid morning. Sorry, deal or time about 23 minutes. But when I'm back Thursday and Friday, I'll tell you a custom Nazin Bergen morning show Naleb next week. Yeah, surprise next week. No more so next week surprise. Can I producer Mano Jihad no do okay. 96.9 Maxx Empire FM. Mamuro and Alexander Bombande. Show producer Sedi Mutawaki. Technical team Ali Musa Mozasku. Assembleman in waiting. Isa Salamanga Isa Atunge Idrisim Kasam ne Joshua ne Sauda and post about was Abarka Kapos Edward.